Sir, I'm not a bad person. I grew up without a father, and things just happened in my life, so I didn't always have the toy I always wanted.
Well,
So.
I know, but everybody's
I'm not blaming it on him. I'm putting all
Yeah.
his shoulder for
when you get old enough to know better, then it's our
Growing up
responsibility.
without a father, sir, and
But
in the wrong community, I'm not putting all the weight on him for him to carry it at all. So just
does he just have one case in front of me? It's just okay, because it looks like we had in 2022. You were sentenced to 6 months in jail, probated for 18 months, and that was for indecent exposure. That's not a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Then you've got in 2000 back for felonies. Here we go. 2 years state jail, probated for four years, and that was revoked in 2004 for controlled substances. Then another controlled substance in 2008, 2 years prison. Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle in 2011, 1 year state jail. Another illegal possession of a controlled substance, 6 months in jail. And here we are now. And we have otherwise, oh boy, let's see, 24 and 30 is 54 and 58 class C misdemeanors. That's where you just like speeding, and
Yes,
you got
I
got 30 traffic related offenses. My goodness, I think I ought to make you take driver's education here.
I would like for you to do that, sir, because I've been having a tug of war with my what's what they call it, license. License.
Well, who'd want to give you a license when you're driving like this? It's like it's a video game.
Well, no, well, I apologize.
And
sir.
then 17 public intoxications. You've got to do better than that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And 7 disorderly conducts, and then 4 failures to appear. And then I want to say, and a partridge in a pear tree, because it's like a Christmas, that Christmas carol. You got too many, you know.
Welcome to Judge Stevens' courtroom, where today's case is anything but ordinary. We have a defendant with a lengthy criminal record stretching from juvenile years to the present day. But this defendant isn't here to own up to his actions. Instead, he's armed with a bundle of excuses. Playing the race card and attributing his behavior to a difficult upbringing, the defendant's narrative doesn't seem to align with the facts. With a rap sheet boasting over 30 traffic offences, multiple disorderly conduct arrests, and even indecent exposure amongst a litany of other charges, his excuses might not hold much weight. Judge Stevens, known for his no-nonsense approach to justice, faces a pivotal decision today. Do you think Judge Stevens will have mercy and leniency on this defendant today? I'm leaning towards no, but stay tuned and let's find out, because this verdict should be interesting.
All right. We now call 22-39654, the state of Texas versus Marcus Cantu. Is that you?
Yes, sir. Correct.
And you are here with your attorney, Mr. West, and the state's attorneys. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Lower your hand. There's a first amended motion to revoke probation that's been filed as of August 28th, 2023. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in a summary?
We can, Your Honor.
In summary, sir, this first amended motion to revoke probation states that on May 9th of 2023, earlier this year, that you were sentenced to 5 I don't understand this. You were sentenced to 5 years in the state jail division? That's kind of impossible.
That should be 5 years in the institutional division. I apologize.
Okay, it should be 5 years in the what? You take state jail out and put institutional division?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also known as prison, but
Yes, sir.
they made a mistake here and called it the state jail, which it can't be, since
Larry, you state jail?
it can't be that one.
Yes, sir.
because you can only go 2 years in that.
Yes, sir.
And then it says, without objection, John, this is amended
Yes, sir.
on this day. All right, and any reason to postpone this? We can move forward?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this states again that you were sentenced to 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice prison, but that was suspended and you were placed on probation or supervision for a period of 10 years. Is that true?
Yes, sir. Correct. I remember that, Your Honor.
Allegation 1 states you committed the offense of criminal trespass on or about June 15th, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas. True or untrue?
True.
Oh, that's true?
Yes, sir. It's true. Yes, sir. Is it what?
It's true. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. For trespass.
Well, yes, because I had got a trespassing at my mother's address and they told me not to go back there. So that must be the trespassing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you-
Officer told me to leave my mother's house and that has to be the trespassing.
Okay. Then are you pleading true to that allegation voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because it is true?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand by a plea of true to one or more violations of probation, that is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation? Your probation could be revoked and you could be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 5 years in prison.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true nonetheless today?
Yes, sir. God on his true.
All right, I find you are pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
Yes, sir.
There's one other violation, number 2, and this alleges that on or about July 17th, 2023 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the offense of disorderly conduct. Is that true or untrue?
Yes, sir. Correct. True. Yes, sir. True.
Are you pleading true to that voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because it is true?
Yes, sir. God on his true.
And just as before in the criminal trespass, do you understand by a voluntary and knowing plea of true to any violation of probation, that is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, and your probation can be revoked. You can be assessed prison sentence no less than 2 nor more than 5 years.
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to allegation number 2 of this first amended motion to revoke probation?
Yes, sir. The disorderly conduct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now I've been in Jefferson.
Hold on, one thing at a time. Let me,
Yes, yes,
let's,
sir.
hold on, Tex. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to mark all of this true and correct. And thus, there is enough evidence here for me to find true to allegations 1 and 2, and you are subject to revocation of probation. So let's take up, what should we do with Mr. Cantu? Are you able to determine how much time he has credit, please? I'd like to know on each of these.
It's 2 for 1, right? As I've been sitting. Yes, sir. I'll have to leave on probation.
Actually, you don't get 2 for 1, but for parole purposes,
Yes, sir.
this is not an aggravated offense, evading arrest or detention,
Yes, sir.
which means you're looking at the parole states you can be reviewed for parole in 1/4,
Yes,
1/4 of your
yes, sir.
time.
Is
And
there-
so you're looking
is there someone who do community service probation for this term? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been on probations. You weren't on probation long, just on May 9th, but see, a month later, that's the problem. And 1 month later, you get charged with this criminal trespass you pleaded true to. And then the following month, the second month after you were on probation, it's disorderly conduct, which is just not, not good. We have to all, I mean, me too, have to all follow the rules of behavior.
Yes, sir.
And when you're on this court's watch, my supervision, I've got to, it's like the teacher, if you're speaking out of line or you're rude or you do something in class, it's up to the teacher to discipline. And that's what we're going to look at is what is appropriate.
So,
I am looking at your pre-sentence report, which of course has you have a lengthy criminal history dating back to 1995 when you were just a kid.
yeah, I remember getting caught with a pocket knife. I forgot where I got the knife from. I remember that just like it was yesterday. I was in front of Market Basket and somebody gave, probably one of my older brothers.
Oh, yeah.
One that's
Yeah.
missing.
But-
Somebody gave me one of them, the knives they sell in the dollar store, the knives you get to swing around and everything about.
Yeah, but it didn't
And the
end
cop
with,
came and I was a kid with the knife on a bicycle and he got the knife just straight out of my hand, out of my possession, and I got charged with it, so.
see, but the problem is it doesn't end with that. There was an unlawful carrying a weapon there.
Yeah,
And you were put on deferred probation though.
Yes, I was
So-
a kid thinking it was fun.
So they gave you
That
another
knife like
chance
that.
on that.
It was
then-
one of them nights you get to move back and forth. I didn't seen them movies as I was growing up.
Yeah, then there was a theft in 98 and you were put on deferred probation. Let's see. Then there were a couple of disorderly conducts and it says we add to your analysis. Let me ask you, how old, what was your birth date?
September the 5th, 1984, Virgo.
Okay, 84. So you were, yeah, all of these, see, in 2000, you were still just a kid, 16.
Yes, sir.
So you were treated as a juvenile.
And I remember that. And then some attorney.
Then there was
No, the judge right here in this big old 9025 building, he wanted me to write a 4-page paragraph.
an essay.
Yes, so I think about it all the time because I've never written it and I still like to return it to him.
Well, let's go here to your adult history, which is really what counts the most. And you've got a beginning with 2003, 15 days in jail for a failure to identify. Then 30 days in jail for evading arrest in 03. 30 days for jail for Class B theft, 30 days in jail. That seems to be a 30-day sentence. Illegal possession of marijuana in 05. 30 days in jail for failing to identify
That was
in Harris County, yeah. Then 60 days in 2006 for theft of services, then back to 30 days in 07 for resisting arrest. Then, okay, what is that what it is?
Sir, I'm not no bad
505?
person. I grew up without a father and things just happened in my life. So I didn't always have the toy I always wanted.
Well,
sir.
I know, but
And
everybody's,
I'm not blaming it on him. I'm putting all
Yeah.
his shoulder for
when you get old enough to know better, then
Yes,
it's
sir.
our
It was just growing up
responsibility.
without a father, sir, and
But
in the wrong community. I'm not putting all the weight on him for him to carry it at all, so just.
does he just
and
have
the
one
community
case in
full
front of
dope
me?
fiends, sir.
It's just, okay, because it looks like we had in 2022, you were sentenced to 6 months in jail, probated for 18 months, and that was for indecent exposure. That's not a good thing.
Yes, sir.
Then you've got in 2000 back for felonies. Here we go. 2 years state jail, probated for 4 years, and that was revoked in 04 for controlled substances. Then another controlled substance in 08, 2 years prison. Unauthorized use of a motor vehicle in 2011, 1 year state jail. Another illegal possession of a controlled substance, 6 months in jail. And here we are now. And we have otherwise, oh boy, let's see, 24 and 30 is 54 and 58 Class C misdemeanors. That's where you just like speeding and
Yes, sir.
you got,
I just got.
you've got 30 traffic related offenses. My goodness. I think I want to make you take driver's education
Yeah,
here.
I would like for you to do that, sir, because I've been having a tug of war with my, what's what they call it, license.
Yeah.
License.
Well,
And
who'd want to get you, who'd want to give you a license when you're driving like this? It's like, it's a video game.
Well, no, well, I apologize.
And
sir.
then 17 public intoxications. You've got to do better than that.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
And 7 disorderly conducts, and then 4 failures to appear. And then I want to say, and a partridge in a pear tree, because it's like a Christmas, that Christmas carol, you've got too many,
See, yes,
you
sir.
know? We start up 10, 9, 8, and wow, that's just a lot of issues. And
Now,
so,
as I'm listening to you, Mr. Your Honor, I just cleared like $20,000 something from off of my record at the municipal court for me to get my license, and I've been going back and forth for me to get my license.
well, if you're going to get a driver's license, it's
Is there a
important
kind of way I can
that
pay
you are,
drive?
but you have to be responsible because that's a 4,000 pound missile.
Yes, sir.
And we get too many cases in here where people are injured seriously or killed
Yes, sir.
because of irresponsible driving. And those people who are responsible end up going to prison.
Yes, sir.
So you gotta, the point is you gotta be thinking about your actions, how they touch the other 7 billion people on the planet. Now, you're not gonna run into 7 billion, but even in this town, there's 120,000 people in this city, for example.
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna run into people and you have to give them their fair due. Respect them as they should respect you.
I do.
Live honestly, harm no one,
Yes, sir.
give each person due respect.
Yes, sir.
3 things, that's all it takes.
Yes, sir. God is true. I don't do nothing but sit in my mother's house and ask her for a cigarette and
Well, no, but you ought to be doing something to make the world a better place
I'm
and
trying-
saving lives or
I'm trying to
helping
get
people.
my
You know?
license and go back to work.
And what do you do? What do you do?
I can't do nothing
No,
right
no,
now.
what do you do when you have the ability to get to work?
I go to work.
Well, I know, but what's your job? What's your skill?
I like detailing them vehicles right there on
Okay.
Connor Street.
You're good at it?
Yes, I
Oh,
love detailing
well,
all them trucks.
go do
cars
that.
come through there. Ain't
All right.
nothing better than wiping them vehicles off in the cold or anything. That's nice detailing them vehicles.
505? All right. Okay, so we're looking at what's the state say on this one?
Judge, in preparing for this hearing, talking to the witness that was going to be proving up the criminal trespass, this Mr. Cantu is described at best as a nuisance. He continuously causes problems for the business and the establishment, everything that's involved there. Once they were called, they freely came down here to be able to prove that up because they just want to try to make their place a little safer. What speaks to that as well is when he interacted with the officer puts in their report that Mr. Cantu told him he wanted to go to jail. I think that's pretty prevalent on his conduct. I mean, he's barely on probation and he commits 2 new offenses. Now, granted, they're misdemeanors, but it tracks right along with all that criminal history you just talked about. I'm asking you to consider that, and I would like to highlight for you page 6 of the PSI. And remind Your Honor that we had a rather unfortunate circumstance take place while we were trying to get this man into court for sentencing. I mean, his behavior from one of our professionals that was going down there trying to do their job, for him to inappropriately expose himself and masturbate in front of her, he needs to be held responsible.
Yeah, one of my the people who works with me from the probation office. And that's that we were going to get to that. All of that is that you've told me about are problems that you need to be fixing, but that is a horrendous disappointment. Plus it causes, it's all about decency. You don't do that
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. In front of a lady or anybody.
Yes,
You
sir.
don't do that, and you know better, and you have to pay a price
Correct.
for that.
Yes, sir.
Shame on you.
Because we gave him the opportunity and he failed, Judge, I'm asking for the full 5 years that he was originally sentenced to before we gave him the probation. It tracks with the rest of his criminal history to do that as far as an incremental step up from the circumstance. And it does take into account everything that took place with the original sentence.
All right. What's on the behalf of the defense?
Your Honor, I would like to clarify this point where he asked, said he wanted to go to jail. I think he wanted to say something to the court, so I want to give him.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yes, when I was.
Whenever, Mr. Hand mentioned that he's told the officer he wanted to go to jail, my client tried to interject there, and I think I would like to give him a chance to explain.
Well, I don't think anybody wants to go to jail.
That's what I want to ask him about that.
Well, I was sitting on my mother's porch, Your Honor, courts, and I'm not trying to argue the courts. It was dangerous walking underneath the train on Martin Luther King Jr. and.
That's not what, that's not what this court is concerned about. It's that last thing, that disrespect that it could have been your sister or something.
Yes, sir.
Come on. You don't do that to
Yes, sir.
another human being. That's indecent.
I apologize.
Oh,
sir.
well, how do you can't do that. You pay a price because you can't undo your indecent act. You can't undo it.
Yes, sir.
It causes harm to people.
So can I ask to be reinstated and go right back before that person and apologize?
No,
That's
sir,
what
they don't want, I don't think they feel comfortable around you, and I can understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
need
I agree with you.
You need to do better.
Yes, sir.
But think about,
That's my
the
neighbor.
harm
They
to
stepped away
others.
from me.
think about the harm to others.
Yes, sir.
All right, John.
My argument would be a minimum sentence, Your Honor, based on the fact that this is an evading arrest with previous convictions. It's not a evading arrest with a motor vehicle, which is a different situation. It's very dangerous. This is a felony because he was running for the police and he's been convicted before, which is without the prior would be a misdemeanor. And the two new violations that he got was a criminal trespass and a disorderly conduct, both misdemeanors in cell.
He was convicted of a state jail felony,
Punished as a
but
third.
because he was punished as though it was a third because of the
Yes.
prior conviction.
That's-
I understand.
That's true, Your Honor. That's correct.
All right. Anything?
But I would request the minimum, as minimal the court sentenced him to in this case, which in this case is 2 years. I would request 2 years based on the facts of the situation.
Well, are you aware of how much time he has accrued?
I am not.
505 days. Anything else?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
And then what I'm going to find then, Mr. Cantu, that
Yes, sir.
there is sufficient evidence supporting this first amended motion to revoke probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as allegations 1 and 2 have been proven true by a preponderance of the evidence, and thus your probation in this case is revoked. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 5 years in prison. That's the bad news. The good news is you have 505 days credited, which means if at 1/4 of a sentence, you are eligible to be released soon.
Yes, sir.
You are being sentenced, though, to the 5 years just because indecent acts, you know better.
Yes, sir.
And you don't do that to men, much less ladies. You're not acting like a gentleman, and that's disorder, and that harms the person who has to witness this. We want the world to be a decent place to live in, even though we make mistakes.
You're
But what
correct.
you did was terribly dishonorable, and it was humiliating to the lady and anybody else who had to see you perform this obscene act in front of people for no apparent reason except to pleasure yourself. You
Yes,
have
sir.
to pay a price for that. And anytime you're in my court, when you are acting in a manner that is terribly abusive and sexually perverted in its very nature, you're going to pay a price because we're humans. We're not supposed to act like animals, four-legged animals.
Correct.
We're supposed to be the higher form of life on this planet, and we have to act like we're better than animals. And
Yes, sir.
you did a very brutal thing, and that's not decent. And would you do something like that in church?
No, sir.
Well, you play like you're in church all the time.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you have to do.
As I am really going, sir, I apologize. And my
I think you understand
Yes, yes,
how,
sir. My neighbor come
but
before me
you've
all
got to
the time.
restrain yourself.
And I would like to let them know I apologize as that happened to us.
That will be passed on. That will be passed on, but you nonetheless have to pay the price. But you've earned enough time to where you should be getting out shortly.
Yes, sir.
Anything else on this? All right, thank you very much. Do better, Mr. Cantu.
Yes, sir. God
You're
bless.
able to. You
Yes, sir.
can,
God bless the
you're
court, sir.
capable of doing better.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Next is
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.